Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital was born in the early years of the 20th century when two compassionate women, Louis B. Felt and May Anderson, were touched by the sight of a child on crutches struggling along a city street. It was at that moment that they realized Utah was in dire need of a place where children could receive the specialized medical care they deserved. Louis Felt and May Anderson got to work, and in 1911, a children's ward was opened at Salt Lake's LDS Hospital. Throughout the last century, Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital has been growing, evolving, and expanding its impact to serve children, families, and communities across the western United States. This growth not only brought on a move to a new campus, it was also the catalyst for massive leaps in medical advancement. In 1936, an average child's stay at Primary Children's was 158 days. Today, it is only 6. As a former critical care nurse and now CEO at Primary Children's, I have spent over 38 years working inside these walls. Each and every day, I am inspired and humbled to have seen firsthand some of the miraculous, life-saving work that happens at this very special place.
Our first is Gabriel, and he is 2 years old now. About a year and a half later, we had Ari. So when he was born, he had a murmur, and so they had to go and do a special test on his heart just to see what was going on. Once we did a bunch of different tests, the cardiologist told us that he had something called tetralogy of Fallot. He had 4 different heart defects going on, and he also had something called Angelman syndrome.
And Angelman syndrome is severe to profound disability,
where they don't have complete control over how they move. The surgery was the next big milestone.
So when we went into surgery, we expected him to spend about 10 days in the hospital, and so we prepared our lives for such. But then after about 6 days, they were like, hey, he's doing great enough, he can come home. And it was really exciting that he was able to progress so quickly, under their care.
Post-surgery, when we were able to take him home, they even set us up with our comprehensive care unit and everyone that we would need to check in with, just to make sure that he was progressing and doing well at home. And so we felt like we weren't alone. It wasn't like we were just bringing him home, like, oh my gosh, we're in charge of this really fragile baby. But still, just knowing that he's healthy and he's happy is wonderful.
To me, Primary Children's is such a special place because it's a place that has been dedicated in its focus to healing children. And I can think of no greater mission in the world than to bring choice and opportunity and life to the people with the most potential moving forward.
As all of you know, Primary Children's plays a special role in our region, in our city, and in the history of our families and our children. It's cared for people without regard for their ability to pay for decades. It has trained generations of caregivers. It has cared for generations of children. Yet right now, we're at a very interesting inflection point. The number of sick and injured children continues to rise. Part of it's based on population. Part of it is based on a changing society. We're seeing new challenges around childhood trauma, around family dysfunction, around behavioral health issues. And as we become better at treating childhood illnesses, particular challenges for kids as they transition into adulthood. We have promised to create the model healthcare system for children. Intermountain Healthcare and Primary Children's Hospital together have an opportunity to create a paradigm, a model for children's health that the rest of the United States will emulate, even as we innovate and care for children and families in new ways. What you can do is you can look deep inside yourself, think about how Primary Children's has affected you and your family, and give of your time, your talent, and your treasure to help us make a model healthcare system for children come to life. We're going to make this easy for you. You can give by texting GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 91234, or by visiting the website makegoodgrow.org. I'd like to thank you all for your commitment to the community and to primary children specifically. Together, we can change the future. The best is yet to come.